This follows on from the TEDx Talk, How Unicorns Wind Up in a Straitjacket. Hi, and welcome to this episode of Unicorns Out of a Straitjacket. That's to say, very talented, smart people who are simply in the wrong career for them, and therefore they feel restricted. That's what a straitjacket feels like. Today, I have an amazing lady with me who I completely admire and I've known for a while, and I want to share her story with you of how she changed her careers. So please join me to welcome Lidia with us today. Lidia is an entrepreneur, the founder and creative director of Visuable. So I'm going to hand over to her to introduce herself. Hi, Lidia. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, Linda. Thank you very much for having me. I'm so excited to be doing this interview. As you said, my name is Lidia. I'm an entrepreneur and a founder of a global digital brand agency called Visuable. At Visuable, we help ambitious business leaders to bring their brands to life. And we do that through really iconic branding, web design, and all sorts of consultancy services that help them really um, find out who they are and what they're really good and how to bring that complex system of their products and services to life.
Amazing, amazing. And do you want to share with us a little bit about your career story? What did you change from? What did you used to do, and how did you wind up here?
Definitely, that's actually a great question because I always think about myself as a serial career changer. So
I love
throughout my
that you said that because it's not a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're working in your genius, it's not a bad thing.
Definitely. So throughout my professional life, I had many careers and identities. I had countless setbacks and I fell flat on my face numerous times. Slowly but surely, I picked myself up and I have grown and shifted myself into becoming the person I am today. So my professional career began in my early 20s when I moved from Poland to the UK for an internship. It was part of my hotel management degree. I didn't know anyone, I hardly spoke any English, and I worked 12-hour shifts in restaurants. That really is where I started.
Amazing journey from hotel management and doing 12-hour shifts to now running this huge company that helps people with their brands. And that's a huge transformation. Can you say a huge? So she's serious when she says she's a serial career changer. I love. So why was it important for you to sort of grow and develop yourself and go through all of these changes? What went on for you emotionally?
Well, yeah. So after a few years in hospitality, I decided that it really, really wasn't for me. Work, sleep, eat, repeat. It was really wasn't something that I wanted. I was existing, not living. So I was really determined to change my path. So I returned to the university, and this time I picked a creative degree. It was media and cultural studies with majors in photography and web design. And when I graduated in 2011, I feel that I've embarked on what turned out to be a very long journey to reinventing myself. So, since I didn't really have any relevant work experience, I was really struggling to land a job. Therefore, I decided to take on a business course, a business startup course. And that's, I think, really where everything started for me. So I've been trying my luck to establish myself as a family photographer, then as a wedding photographer, then as a founder of a tech startup inventing the world's first flying camera, then a project manager of the UK biggest festival of entrepreneurs, and also as a freelance marketeer. So I was really doing all of these things all at the same time. And whilst this all might, sounds very cool and exciting, which really certainly it was, I was just clearly spreading myself too thin. I was exhausted and I was overworked and I was hardly making any money at all. I was serving everyone with everything, and all my startup ventures were failing because I really wasn't committed to any of them. So yeah, I was a bit of a hot mess. However, I was really also committed to my dream of being self-made and of becoming entrepreneur. So throughout this journey of reinvention, I figured out that this is what I wanted to do. I really wanted to be a business leader. So yes, here I
That's
am.
a lot you packed in there. So there was this, as you said, your dream, and then it was, I will do whatever it takes to get it. And just going back a little bit, one thing that you said that I found super important, she said, I couldn't find a job, so I took a business course. And I find that a lot of my clients just stay stuck because you don't have experience, no one's hiring you, and then you get demotivated. And you pick the first thing that someone offers you. And that's how people wind up in jobs that are wrong for them because they get desperate and they settle. So,
Exactly. So, this is how I felt working in restaurants. It was really long hours. It was really overwhelming for me. I felt that I was meant for something different, better. I just always knew that I could do something more.
right.
But I was just like really confined to those kind of systems and processes and procedures and what I had to do every day and how I had to act. I really, really hated it. It was just completely not me. So I knew I needed to do something. And I was still in my early 20s. So I thought, if I do another degree now, I was 23 at the time. I thought, well, I'll finish when I'm 26. So I can still, I can still
Still
find
got
a
time.
great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the important thing is you will always still got time if you believe you can do it and it's never too late. So that's really important that you took that step. So
Mm-hmm.
coming back to the TEDx talk, I think you touched on a number of it already. Um, what would you say were the clues for you in becoming who you are today? What were the markers that I'm naturally good at this? This is my zone of genius. This is what I'm complimented on. What do you love to do as a child?
Well, third time lucky, as they say, but in my case, really, it was the six. I have failed at five businesses before the clues came to me. So after all this time soul searching, it really finally hit me. I
Mhm.
understood what my passion and purpose were. So the answer really was right under my nose. It was so obvious. It was ridiculous that I wasn't actually seeing it. So since I was bringing all those brands to the market,
Mhm.
I've realized that, well, I didn't really love the business ideas. Like I was bringing those brands to market, and that was really the exciting part for me when I had to create that new concept.
Yeah.
And then I created it, and then I was just bored running it. I didn't really want to do it. So I've realized that actually what I really meant to do is to do that very, very beginning bit to really help people figure out how to turn their dream and their idea and their vision into a brand. So essentially what I did, I combined my entrepreneurial thinking. That's when I knew I was an entrepreneur. I was really, really wanting to have a business, and I was a creative as well. So I've combined those two together, and that really, I came up with something that I thought that I was really good at and I really, really loved doing. And also, I had all the necessary skills and experience to deliver it because I've studied photography and web design. And also, I already brought all those different brands to the market. I mean, I already had five on my own. So clearly,
Oh
I
yeah.
was very, very good at doing it. So
Yeah.
that way, in 2015, the idea for Visuable was born. And I've decided to quit all my part-time jobs, closed all my side hustles, and went for it. Just no turning back. So that really was it. And I
Absolutely.
launched Visuable with no plan and zero budget by simply creating a personal brand and website and connecting with people on LinkedIn.
Mm.
At the time, 2015, so it was quite early for visual marketing. Everybody was really promoting themselves with quite kind of cringy graphics. The websites were really put together by old school developers who had no idea how to convey the personality of a brand. So what I was doing, I was posting my photos that I did of people, of personal brands, and I was also posting them alongside tips of visual marketing and how to tell your story online and how to promote yourself online. Essentially, I didn't really know what I was doing. Later on, I figured out I was basically positioning myself as a brand expert.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I was attracting all sorts of freelancers, consultants, experts, who they were all asking the same thing. They were all asking who have created your brand and website.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, it was me.
You know.
And they said that they never really seen a website that conveyed the brand personality in such an authentic way. So it turns out that I created something very unique that stood out in a saturated market. And they all wanted a piece of this for themselves. So within 4 months, I was fully booked for the brand shoots and websites, and I really could not keep up with the demand. Back then,
What
I
I'm
wasn't
hearing,
really,
sorry,
yes.
what I'm hearing is the connections for you was really personalizing this and bringing the people and the brands together. So being a people person, being a creative, being entrepreneurial, and having all of these come together is how you applied it in your business, which is steps 2 and 3, really. Wow.
Yeah, so I wasn't really realizing that I was doing anything especially unique.
Yeah.
I was simply applying what I learned at the university, which is the conceptual artist approach, and I was applying this to business. And in order to bring the personal brand and website to life, I was using my imagination to create a narrative around who I am, to showcase my passion, and to really showcase what I do. So I would use props like a camera and a laptop in my photo shoots. And by doing so, it seems like I've accidentally unlocked a path to creating a really signature brand building methodology that helps people turn their passion in their profession. And kind of long story short, that methodology now powers up everything that we do at Visuable. So 5 years in, and yeah, I feel like I've achieved more than I actually initially envisioned, because I never really envisioned for Visuable to be anything more than just myself. I always say that I was a creative girl with a camera and a laptop. And today, well, I am a creative director to a team of 6. We work with fantastic businesses all around the world, from just very tiny little startups and freelancers to big name brands in the US. So yeah, I feel like it really worked for me. So looking back, I'm really happy that I never found that job that I was so kind of desperate to find.
And sometimes that is the blessing, right? Sometimes that's the blessing. The no is the blessing so that you can go and be what you're destined to be. I mean, from my story, it was the same, just being in that terrible, uncomfortable situation, just
I
propelling
know
me
the
to get out.
spread.
Definitely. So, what would you say if you had to speak to a young Lydia or someone in your position that is really contemplating whether they should go for it? What's the one thing you would say to them about this, about their career change and what they should do?
Well, you have to really be confident in yourself, um, because you'll hear a lot of no's before you hear yes, and you might not even hear any yeses. And that's really part of the journey. And as entrepreneurs, if you really want to become an entrepreneur, you really have to learn to fail fast and to pick yourself up even faster and keep going and believing in your dreams. For me, I had so many setbacks. But all those setbacks, they really taught me the valuable lessons, and they really helped me to understand who I was and who I really wanted to be. And if it wasn't for all of those, I would probably be stuck somewhere in a straitjacket doing something that I'm really hating. Yeah, so I would just say believe in your dreams, and if you really, really believe, if you really, really believe something, you can become the person you want to be. There's absolutely no reason why you can't do it. If I did it, you can honestly do it too.
And there you have it. Wow. Thank you so much, Lydia. This has been so insightful. And sometimes you see people who've achieved the level of success and you don't even know how they got there. So I'm really grateful that you took the time to share that your story with us, and right from the beginning all the way to how it happened and all the setbacks, because that's important, because that's a bit we don't see, right? You just see the success of it. So thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And if you're listening and you want to see what she does or want to work with her, definitely check out her details.
Don't be a unicorn in a straitjacket. Unleash your inner unicorn.